Yeah.
Hi, Jackson. Good morning. It's good to see you today.
Good morning, Emily. It is good to see you as well.
Yeah, how was your holiday?
The holiday was really good. Got to see family and everybody. It was a long trip, but it was well worth the trip. So, it was good. Thanks for asking.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that.
Mhm.
So what would you like to kind of dive into for today's session?
Well, I want to talk about something that happened between my best friend and I. When I was driving back, we were talking on the phone and it's just talking about stuff that we were looking forward to doing, talking about the holiday and stuff. And then he brought up an issue that I totally forgot about. And as he started talking, it bothered me because I thought we were really past that. And he went back into it and was really adamantly trying to make me apologize for something that I did not do. And then what bothered me is I said to him, we discussed this and I did apologize to you, if you felt offended, but, he kept going on and I was just like, dude, I'm driving, I'm trying to focus on the road and you're bringing up this petty issue again. It really annoyed me.
Mm. So you kind of felt annoyed and frustrated, and it just wasn't a good time for you to be discussing something as heavy as this.
Yeah, especially since, like I said, we had discussed this already. I thought we had put it behind us, but now you're bringing it back up again. And then how, that I really thought it was inappropriate because, he knew that I had him on speakerphone because I told him, you're on speakerphone and I had my nieces in the car with me. And they had to hear all of that, just stupid stuff. And then I think what really angered me is the fact that I had been telling my nieces and them, oh, you need to meet my best friend. We get along really well. And, there are times that we'll just sit on the phone and not say anything to each other, but that's just us, that's my best friend. We just do crazy stuff like that, and I was just talking about the extent of our friendship and whatever. And then he calls and says this, and I'm really embarrassed because I was just really just talking him up, and then when they hear him, it's just like he's going in on something that happened like 6 months ago. I'm like, dude, that was, and I kept saying to him, I was like, buddy, that was like 6 months ago. We're past that. We're long past that. And it was just like really, I was embarrassed, just really embarrassed.
Embarrassed because your nieces were in the car with you?
Yeah, I was embarrassed that my nieces was in the car again. Like I said, I had just bigged him up and was talking all nice about him. But then I was also embarrassed at the fact that here we are 6 months down the road and you're still bringing this up. And it was just like, come on, why are you not past this? Why is this something that you want to be talking about now? What is it, you know, really, we didn't need to bring, it was just like, it just really annoyed me. And then, it kind of made me, as I was being annoyed, I realized, that I was driving really fast,
Mm.
as I'm driving on the road. And so, I couldn't really focus on the road. So, it was kind of like, it just annoyed me because I was driving fast, and I had to catch myself because I was like, you're not in this truck by yourself. You got your niece and her daughter and the baby in the car with you. So, slow down. So I had to kind of like stop myself. And then, I wound up just hanging up the phone. And I was just like, if he calls back, I'm just not going to answer because this is just ridiculous. It was totally ridiculous. And I think what really annoyed me more so is that you made me get in a place that I didn't want to be because it was a happy, it was a good holiday. It was nice travel and, being with family and stuff. And then, it just really brought me down. And it was just like,
Really changed your mood from just having a great time with your family and the holidays, and then kind of just a 180.
yeah, it was crazy. And it kind of reminded me of, how things happen with my brother and I.
Tell me about that.
And you know, the relationship with my brother has not always been good. And but we'll, try to find those little common places where, we can meet and we can talk and we'll be having a good time. And then all of a sudden he'll just come up with something out of left field. And it's just like, where did that come from? And, just wanted to start an argument and, get things all crazy. And it's like, they don't want it to be a nice time. You just have to, I don't know. It's just, I don't know, and then I just thought about it, with my brother, it was like misery loves company. He's always angry at something, never happy about anything, always looking for the bad thing. Can be, he can find $5, but he'll come up with something to make it bad. So he can't even enjoy just a little thing.
Right. That can feel really draining.
Yeah, very draining. And it was like, I don't need this. I don't need this. And with my best friend, it was like, dude, the one thing I don't want to be is drained while I'm driving because, I got to get these people home and then I got to get home.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you mention to him that this isn't a good time to talk? That you maybe felt unsafe having this conversation while you're driving?
No, I didn't. I was, at first, I mean, even think about that because I know, I think I was just more so like, I can't believe we're talking about this. This is something that happened 6 months ago. Why are we talking about this again? And I can't remember if I even said, let's talk about this at another time, or if that was the point where I just hung up my phone. And it was I probably just hung up the phone and that would have been my sign that we're not talking about this.
Pick up the memo.
Yeah. And, and I'm like, I'm gonna, I've been back home for a couple of days now. It's been almost a week. This happened, yeah, Thanksgiving, blah, blah, blah. What is it, like Tuesday or Wednesday now? So it's, it's been almost a week now. And I haven't even called him to, whatever. I did we have this thing that no matter what, whenever we're traveling, we always text the other person and let them know that we made it back home, say to let them know, because, we look out for each other's houses and stuff like that. But it was just, I just texted him and said, hey, I'm home. And that was it, and he didn't respond because we never really respond. It's just like that, let everybody know you made it home thing and whatever. We haven't even talked and that's bothering me because, my best friend and I, we talk every day. Excuse me, we talk every day, 3 and 4 times a day, and it's just like, we're not talking. So, that's bothering me. It's really just bothering me. And again, it takes me back to the relationship with my brother, how we were doing good. And then that not talking piece, and with my brother, he and I can go months without talking because I'm just like, every time I think of it, I'm like, I don't want that negativity. So I ain't calling this joke. And he may call me. And if I don't feel like talking to him, I won't answer the call and just, it's just, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't know. I don't know if it's me or what.
I can tell from the tone of your voice how, I could tell you were feeling a little angry. And then the mention of your friend that you haven't talked to each other in a week. And this is kind of out of the ordinary. You guys talk every single day. I can see how much, just like from your tone and the look on your face, of how much like that, is upsetting to you and how much he means to you. That relationship means a lot to you. It seems.
Yeah, because that's my best friend. It was just like, we sing in a choir together, but the choir's on a break, for the holiday and da da da. So, we connected there and we've been friends ever since. It is just like we just hit it off, and we just able to talk to each other about anything. And this is really crazy because in the 12 years that we've been friends, 12, 13 years that we've been friends, this is, I want to say, the first time that, you know, we really had that was the first time that we had any type of a disagreement. And, you know, now that we're not talking, it's just like, and it's not right. So a part of me, you know, wants to call him and say, hey, you good? But then that other part of me, I want to stay angry, because the crazy part about it is, you know, I'm the one in the relation, you know, our friendship, where I just let stuff go, and I'll call and be like, hey, you know, what's going on? You know, and I just let it go. But I want to be angry this time, because, you know, like I said, it was embarrassing. It was just uncalled for. And we had hashed this stuff out 6 months ago.
What do you think the worst would happen if you did call him?
Nothing really. It wouldn't be the worst. The worst part would be is that I gave in again, and I'd be the one, you know, making that phone call. But I want to stay angry this time. I want to hold out, you know, and be the one not to call, because, you know, he can be rather stubborn at times, you know, but I want to be the stubborn one this time.
Okay.
I want to change the role, and I'll be the stubborn one and let him call me and apologize. Just like he called me to talk about that stupidness. Let him call and apologize.
Okay. So maybe he started it, so you feel that he needs to initiate the apology or ending it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. He started this crap, so he needs to fix it, and then we can end it. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
When you know you kind of tied this to your relationship with your brother, which is a little rocky.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems that this situation is kind of reminding you of your relationship with your brother. How
Mm-hmm.
does, what is the relationship like, or what is the conversation look like when your brother and you kind of get into these little arguments? Does it get resolved, or do you talk about it? Do you just kind of let it go?
So with my brother and I, first we have to get past all of the profanity that he uses. So that part just wears me down, because it's like every other word is blankety blank, you know. And so we have to decipher through all of that. And then, you know, after we get through all of the fluff of all this other foolery, you know, that makes no sense, then we get to the heart of the thing. And by then it's just like really draining for me. But with my brother, it's just like, I ain't calling him back, because this is just, and it's always seems like it's continuing. So it's like the cycle never ends. It just continues and continues and continues. So it's just like with my brother, it's just like one circle of whatever it was. It just spills over and keeps going, and it keeps going. And honestly, I don't want that, because I feel like that's going to happen again, you know, but between my best friend and I really don't want that. I'm tired of stuff like that. It's so draining, and it's just disheartening and really disappointing to deal with that. That's just crap.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good to have conflict in your life.
Not at all. And with my brother, it's just like unresolved. All of it is always unresolved. It's never resolved. You just go from one thing to the next, you know, with this guy. And then before you know it, you're bringing back all of that old stuff again. And so because it never gets resolved, and the thing is that you can't resolve anything with him, because like I said, he can find $5, or he can even find $500, and he'll find a way to argue about that. And it's, you know, there's something gonna happen because of that. And it's just like, dude, let's just live in the moment. Let's celebrate that right now. And you just cannot get, he doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it. So it drives me crazy.
So it all just kind of continues to snowball as life moves on. The conflict just continues to go and grow and build, and nothing ever really gets resolved and things just keep getting brought back up. And yeah, that sounds really draining.
Yeah, I tell you. And I don't know, you know, what troubles me is that I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to get him to um, see it another way. It's just always his way, and just,
Mhm.
and his way is always, it's bad. It's bad. It's something bad's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna come and say, hey, I saw you pick up my money and you know, and it's just like, dude, it's so draining.
It sounds like the relationship that you have with your friend, though, is much different than the relationship that you have with your brother.
Yeah, it is, you know, because like I said, that's my best friend. And in these 12 or 13 years that we've been friends, this was the first time that, you know, that we really fell out. This is the longest that we've gone without talking about, you know, without talking and stuff. And I just don't want it to spiral into that same relationship that I have with my brother. You know, because, you know, my buddy is more than my best friend. He's like the replacement of my brother, if I can say that. And so I don't want this friendship, our brotherhood, to turn into that same relationship that I have with my brother. So I think that's what's really bothering me the most, is that I'm fearful that this is what's going to happen, or this is what can happen, or this will happen.
Mm-hmm.
So somewhere in the back of my head, it's a scene playing that this thing is going to fall apart any day now. It's just going to fall apart.
That you could just, you guys get in one conflict and poof, he's gone. You lost him.
Yep. And he's in that same category as my brother. Just like, and then it's like 12 years of friendship down the drain. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit dramatic with it, you know. I don't, I just don't.
It's a lot. It seems like it's really weighing on your mind.
It is. It really is. And like I said, that's my best friend. But I'm trying to stay angry. I'm trying to stay angry. I don't want to just call him up and be like, hey, let's go, you know, run the Kohl's or something, you know, because that's our favorite go-to place, is to go buy some stuff out of Kohl's and come back and laugh about what we found. And but, you know, and then I'm looking at the fact that we're getting, you know, after Thanksgiving is over, Christmas, my favorite time of the year. I don't like to be bothered and upset during Christmas time, because it's my favorite time of the year. Yeah.
What do you think makes you want to stay angry?
I think it's just I think, oh, how can I put this? It's like, give me this victory. If I'm angry, I got a victory.
Mm-hmm.
And it, you know, it might change the dynamics of that who fixes the situation first. So I think it's just like, give me this one victory. It's just like, yes, I won. I won. I was able to stay angry the longest this time. It's kind of like crazy, but I do know that when this is all over and when we kind of get this thing together, we're going to laugh about this. We're going to laugh about this, because especially if I get the victory, I'm going to be like, yes, I was the one who held out the longest. I did that. You didn't. I held out the longest this time. You know, and then that's how we are. We'll do, you know, crazy stuff will happen, and then we'll laugh about it later. That's one of the things that I love about my best friend, is that he understands my crazy sense of humor. You know, we kind of laugh at some of the same things. So
Well,
yeah.
I can tell just by the way that you talk about him, how much he means to you. And I do also hear the hope in your voice of when this gets resolved, when we get over this,
Mhm.
the victory is yours.
Yes,
I hear that
yes.
hope of when we get over
Yeah, yeah, it's
when
one of those, it's one of those like, yes, I did this, and just sit back with a goofy laugh and just feel like, yes, I won. Yes, I won. But that other part of me is just like, you're gonna give in. And I bet you he's sitting there saying, oh, he's gonna call me any day now. He's gonna call me, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm a holdout. I'm a holdout.
is there a lot of competition in your relationship?
With my best friend, no. We both know, each other's strengths and weaknesses. So, we kind of like build our friendship is basically built off of that. But this one thing that I wanted, because I can't stay angry with anybody. I don't care who it is. Even with the craziness with my brother, I just love my brother and I love my family. But something in me won't allow me to stay angry. That's just a part of who I am. And I know that. You can do something to me, and the moment that I let you know what you did to me, I'm over it. I can't, I don't wait for you to be like, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm just like, hey, you hurt me. I didn't like that. And then I'm done with it. And then I'm back to, where we were. And, and I know that everybody is not like that. There are some people that can just hold on to a grudge. And sometimes I envy that, like how people can stay angry for a long period of time with somebody. It's just like, how did you develop that skill? Because it kind of like, to me, it's kind of like it puts you in a place where you're not always so vulnerable.
Mm.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So kind of you're showing some vulnerability by um, either apologizing or letting them know your feelings of how they made you feel. That's vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And then that you kind of sense that the way that you were explaining it, that you do that, and then there's just this like sense of relief, like it's just this weight is taken off, and you're back to like you don't hold a grudge. A grudge can be heavy,
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of is taken off of your shoulders, and you're able to move on.
Yeah. Yeah. But this time, I want to hold that grudge. I want to hold on to this. Um, because again, he started it. He needs to end this. And when he ends it, it just needs to be buried for good and just never brought up again.
Well, Jackson, I really appreciate you sharing all of this with me. If you'd like, we can kind of dive into this a little bit more and talk about it again next week when we meet.
Mm-hmm.
Does that work?
Yeah, yeah. I think I would enjoy this. I think I would enjoy get into this. And then maybe when we come back, I'll be able to tell you that I'm the victor, that I won. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, Jackson, it has been a pleasure meeting with you. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a good week.
Thank you. It was good seeing you. I look forward to seeing you next week.